Hi, this is Debbie from Book and Bucho, where I talk about all things books, bullet journals, and stationery. Today we are doing the library tag. So the library tag was created by BookBub, and there's two different options, so a little bit of a choose your own adventure for this tag. The first one is, do you go to the library? And if not, why the heck not is the second option. If you do go to the library, which I do get books from my library. The first question is, how often do you go to your library? So I go to the library pretty much every week. So Mondays are my errand days, so I go out and do my grocery shopping and any other little errands that I need to do. And that's also when I go to my library to either drop books off that I've read or pick up books that I have waiting for me on hold. Second question is, do you belong to more than one library system? And the answer is yes. So I do have my local library system that I am a part of, and I have my library card. I go into the physical library and get all of my physical books from there. But I also have my local library from where I moved from to here, so I was able to get a 3-year extension before I moved. So I do have access to that library for digital books and audiobooks for 1 more year. I will be really sad when that goes away because that is the Phoenix Public Library System, which is so much bigger than this much smaller town that I live in now. But there are also libraries that you can get library cards to online for free and be able to use their digital and audiobooks as well. So there are a couple of those that at different times in my life I have been a part of them. One of them is the San Jose Public Library and the other one is the Prince William's Library out of Virginia. So question number 3, what percentage of books that you read come from your library? Well, for this upcoming month, for June, all of these are my June books that I have gotten from the library. And that makes up 50 to 75% of my monthly reads. So whether they be the physical books that I check out or whether they are audiobooks or ebooks that I get through my library through Libby and Hoopla. Consistently, 50 to 75% of my monthly reads come from my library. Question number 4, which I've sort of answered already. So do you listen to audiobooks or get ebooks from your library? Or are you hooked on Audible or Amazon or something like that? So yes, I do get ebooks and audiobooks from my library. I actually have 3 audiobooks that I should be getting this month. One of them I just got today, so I'm so excited to get started on that one. And that is actually this book here. So one of the book club picks for this month is Big Magic, and my library had the audiobook and the physical book. So I do love immersion reading, so listening to it while you're reading physically, it just sticks in my brain so much better when I do it that way. So that is one of the books that I am getting audibly, as well as Swordcatcher and Iron Flame are the other 2 books that I will be getting audibly from my library, which the physical books also came from my library. Then I also have one that I own. So I own The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, but I'm also getting the audiobook from my library, which is so nice. Again, immersion reading is wonderful. I do also use Audible and Amazon for my ebooks. I do have a lot of Kindle books on my Kindle, and I do get some of the ebooks or the audiobooks from that as well. So currently I am reading through the King Fall Histories by David Estes, and I have both I have both the ebook and the audiobook for all of those. So when I purchased the ebook, I was able to get a discount on the audiobook as well. So I did get that for all 5 of the books in the King Fall Histories series. But I mainly use my library. I also get digital books from BookFunnel, BookBub, and FreeBooksy. So FreeBooksy sends out an email every day with a bunch of books that are currently free that day. Question number 5. Did you go to Storytime as a kid at your library? I'm pretty sure I did. I vaguely remember one time that I was definitely there. So growing up as a kid, we moved about every year and a half or 2 years of my life. So we were never really in the same place for a really long time. But there was one little chunk in there where we were there for 5 years. So the very end of first grade all the way through the end of sixth grade before we moved. And I do remember it was a really small town, like 6,000 people maybe. And I do remember going to the library for a story time there, but I don't know if we went more than once. I'm pretty sure my sister and I went to the library quite a few times, but I do remember one time going to story time. Question number 6. Have you ever borrowed a movie or a video game from your library? Yes, I have borrowed a movie. I don't think I've ever borrowed a video game. We may have borrowed movies when I was younger as well, but I don't remember. At that time, it would have been VHS tapes. And I think basically you rented a VCR and you rented a VHS movie at the same time when you were at the movie store. So not necessarily the library. I'm definitely dating myself with that. So how many of you, let me know down in the comments, how many of you remember having to rent a VCR so you could watch a VHS tape movie? But yes, so I did borrow a movie from my library. I didn't realize I was borrowing a movie from the library. I had actually already read the book and don't remember putting the movie on hold, but when I went to the pickup shelves that have all the held books on them, my name was in one of the movies, and I was like, oh, maybe I accidentally clicked on hold instead of closing the page or whatever. I must have clicked on hold because I did borrow it. I'm like, oh, why not? Let's go ahead and give it a watch. And that was Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, and that is the kind of prequel novel to the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins. And I think the movie actually was pretty good. We enjoyed it. My husband enjoyed it. He's never read the books, but he has seen all of the movies. And I've read all of the books and watched all of the movies, and I thought it fit well within the storyline. It wasn't my favorite book in the series by a long shot, but the movie was good. Number 7, have you ever gotten a fine from your library for returning a book late? And if so, how do you feel about that? Actually, my current public library does not have fines. They just auto-renew the book for you for another week and no fines, which is great. Since I've been using this library, I have only had one book that I returned 1 day late. And I immediately went in, I was like, okay, I just returned a book that was late. Do I have a fine that I need to pay? And they looked at me like, no, we don't do fines here. I was like, oh, okay, thank you, great. But I do remember when I was in high school that I did have a fine that I had to pay for returning one of my books late to our high school library. And it wasn't very big. And I think it's fine. I mean, it gives you some accountability to return the books and not be like, whatever, and just keep it on your shelves forever at home, never read it, never return it, whatever the case may be. Maybe you love it and you just want to keep it forever. You need to buy the book if you're going to do that. So I think it's fine. It gives accountability and helps the library with some of their needs if they need them for book upkeep or purchasing new books and things like that. Question number 8. Do you attend special events, groups, or book sales at the library? Yes, I do. So I have not, at least in my current library, I have not attended a special event. I'm pretty sure I did when I was a kid, but not that I know of as an adult. But my handbell group is performing at our public library this Christmas. They do have some live events that they do and live music, and I will get to perform for that. So that will be a lot of fun. And then I have attended many book sales at libraries, and they are super fun. You can find some amazing books there. And I like it because it helps kind of shift excess copies of some books or things that just people don't read anymore, and helps the library again with being able to do upkeep, pay salaries, and also help provide some new materials. My library actually has in their little book sale section, they always have like a little bookstore, so to speak, in the library where you can get puzzles and old books, some used books, the audiobooks on CD, and a whole bunch of other fun things like that. They have a classics section, and it's just so much fun to browse through there. We have found some amazing puzzles actually in there. My library also has some really cool things. You can check out hiking kits, you can check out telescopes and astronomy books that go with them, and just some amazing features. They also have book club packets, so you get like the book, you get book notes and some questions and a whole bunch of other things that go with it. And if you have a book club, you just specify how many you need. You can go pick up 4, 6, 10, and it includes the book. So you get to check out the book, and then you have your little book club discussion. Everybody reads the books, talks about it, and then everybody returns the kits back to the library. It's pretty cool. Question number 9. Have you ever given or taken a book from a little free library, a book box, or a book swap? Sort of. At my previous job, we actually worked with a company that did the free little libraries. They're the ones who kind of came up with the designs and getting them into our neighborhoods or our city down in Phoenix, and they were located in Chandler, I believe. The company I worked for was in downtown Phoenix. Each of the different departments kind of became a team, and we built 5 or 6 little free libraries, and then we gave them to this other company that we were working with, and then they dispersed them throughout the community in downtown Phoenix, which was so cool. We had some really cool ones. I wish I had pictures still, but they were on my work computer, which I, of course, since I don't work there anymore, I do not have that. But it was such a great experience, and it was so much fun. So I did donate some books to those libraries, but I have not actually used one to remove books from. Now, we do have some in our community in the town that I live in now, and I have driven by quite a few of them, but they aren't actually in my neighborhood. I have to actually drive somewhere to go and check out what's in them, so I have not utilized those currently. Number 10, bonus question. Does the librarian know your name? So the actual librarian, no, I've never met our librarian, but a lot of the volunteers at the library do know my name and do know who I am. So it's cheating a little bit because a lot of them go to my church, and so I see them all the time. One of them I stand next to when we play handbells, so they definitely know who I am. I also check out a lot of books and put them on hold. So I put books on hold on my computer, and then they let me know that these are available, they've been picked for you, and they are ready to pick up by this certain date. And it's usually a lot of the volunteers that pull those books and put those on the shelf for you. And so, of course, yes, they definitely know my name. And that was it. So thank you so much to BookBuds, and I will leave their channel linked down below for you so you can check them out as well, for creating this really fun book tag. And it kind of made me think back to some of my younger years and growing up and times that I did or did not go to the library. I did utilize my school libraries, but there was quite a bit of time in between there that I didn't really read a whole lot, or like when I was younger, instead of reading a bunch of different books, I just read my favorite books over and over and over again, like Lord of the Rings and some of those. But I'm glad I am branching out much more now, and I utilize my library every single week. If you do or don't utilize your library, consider yourself tagged, and check out BookBuds for the why the heck not questions if you don't currently use your library. And if you made it this far in the video, leave either a book emoji or some kind of building to symbolize our wonderful libraries. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!